Hello and welcome to my latest video for Darkest Dungeon Bot, where today I'm going to be showing you some new stuff. What I have is a standalone build for Darkest Dungeon Bot, so now anybody can use it easily, even if you're not a programmer. And I'm just going to start off by showing you how to do that real quick before we jump into the action. Now I guess today I'm planning to do just one medium length dungeon, because the last video went pretty long, and it's the same save file where we left off with the previous video, so we've only done like 3 missions so far. Our heroes are not very strong and we're strapped for cash, so it should be interesting. Now we're going to go ahead and get started, and you can see in the folder I have open in front of you, it's this dist folder with the Darkest Dungeon Bot exe. So this is the executable that you need to run. But before we do that, there's just like 2 things you have to do with these 2 settings. Now, if you open up the README here, you can see the limitations and known issues, and also the instructions. So you'll want to go into here when you're doing this on your own to see the step-by-step. But I'm also just going to show you right now what you would need to do is you need to start Xbox 360 CE controller emulator, and it looks like this when you open it up, and I already have my presets in here. So to save yourself some time, like if I clear this right now, and then say I like remove and just like here we go, starting from nothing, you just check this box here and then click add, and it'll default like this with your mouse and keyboard, and you hit add, and now here it is with no buttons mapped. So then if you open up this XML like this, and then just copy all the stuff in there, then paste preset, and now here you go, and then you can just save all. So there, that's it. My controller is set up. Now you just minimize it. Now the other thing you just got to do is in here with the settings JSON. Here's the path to your save editor. This is the save editor and save file reader by RoboJumper. I have a link in the video description and in the README where you download this from. And then you can see right here it's in the same folder as my Darkest Dungeon executable. So you just have to make sure that this folder name matches here. And then inside, this is the thing that we're actually running right here. So so this you might need to change the name of. Your game install location you probably won't need to change the name of. Your save file number, mine is 1, which means it's the second one, 0 is the first one, and so on. I'm just going to save that. And then the battle speed is fast. I recommend using a battle speed mod just to shorten the battle animations. There's a safe option you can use as well, but fast would probably even work without the mod. I just did more testing with the mod than without, so you'll have to see for yourself, but I'd recommend just using fast unless you encounter a problem or something. Alright, so if I were to double click this right now and run it, you're just going to see like the command prompt come up here, and then it just gives us this error right now. This is what you see if the game isn't running yet. But I just wanted to show you that all you do is just double click this to start it, and then hit enter to close. I have a command window open, and I'm going to be running this from the command window on my other monitor so that I can see the printout as the program is running here. But that was all. I just wanted to show you real quick that it's okay if you just click that. So there you go, really simple. You don't have to be a programmer or do any crazy stuff. And now we're going to go ahead and get right into it.
Ruin.
Alright, so here we go. This is save file 1 right here, week 6.
Let me share with you the terrible wonders
Okay.
I have come
And
to
now,
know.
I've already went ahead and done all the town stuff. So you can see in the sanitarium, we're curing one of the diseases on our heroes from the last mission. And then we have Reynold here, and we're trying to get rid of kleptomaniac on him. You want to do that pretty early in the game, like as soon as you can afford it, because kleptomaniac is a terrible ability where he's going to steal your treasure, and we just can't have that for any longer. As far as my party comp here, I have a Crusader, a Highwayman, a Vestal, and a Jester, and this is just a pretty standard setup. We don't have that many heroes to choose from yet. We had a occultist, but we let him go because we got another Vestal in the stagecoach, and honestly, you know, the occultist is surprisingly good, especially in rank 2, but the Vestal is just better. So, you know, we really would just rather use a Vestal whenever we can. You know, for this dungeon here, we like this trinket, and we also like this one up here, but unfortunately these are short dungeons and we want to do a medium one today. So instead we're just going to jump right into the weld. I've already given these guys trinkets. We don't really have much, but just so you could see real quick. Our Highwayman is only level 0, so we're hoping that giving him the damage zone here will help make up for his lack of damage being low level here. So that's our plan. I'm going to go ahead and buy the provisions here real quick. See, it's a medium length weld, so I think we want this much food, a whole bunch of shovels, maybe some bandages and anti-venoms. We'll go 3 keys, and we go with 11 torches. Alright, so this is it. We should be good to go.
Corruption has soaked the soil, sapping all good life from these groves. Let us burn out this evil.
Alright, and you couldn't see that, but I just started the program here, so it's going to start in just a moment. There we go. Ooh, and we found a secret room right off the bat. That's great. So this is exactly why we love taking the scouting book. We equipped it to our Jester, but this is great because the beginning
Nature
of the game you just have like no money starting out, and like getting a secret room like this is just honestly like excellent. This like is really gonna help us out, get us on a good start for like the entire game. Now with the secret rooms, our guys will try to visit the secret room and get all the treasure. What it won't do, unfortunately, is it's not going to snuff the torch here before looting the treasure. That's something that we probably would want to add in, ideally, but
Wealth beyond
Alright, we
measure.
got 2 rare
Awarded
trinkets
to the
there though,
brave
that's
and the
fantastic.
foolhardy alike.
Another thing about secret rooms is that if we find one, the bot won't go back for it, or the bot won't go out of its way to visit the secret room. It'll only go to the secret room if it's on the current path that's already been plotted.
Ambushed by foul
It looks
invention.
like I'm not sure if we just walked into that trap or if we tried to disarm it and failed. I wasn't really able to tell. Maybe if the secret room was like in a weird position there where it was starting off too close to the trap,
If only treasure could staunch the
maybe
flow
that could have
of
caused an
otherworldly
issue, but I'm
corruption.
not really sure. In any case, it's really not a big deal if you miss like one trap. And honestly, we probably just failed to check. But in any case, torch level's really low at this point, so before we move too far here or encounter a fight, yeah, there we go. It's
The match is struck.
using
A
some torches to
blazing
fix the
star
torch
is
level.
born.
Just we've had a great start so far, no battles yet, but we're probably going to see one here in the next room or before too long. Hunger check, that's fine. Alright, so our first battle here, you kind of want to kill the dog first here because the dog will infect your heroes with rabies. You don't want that. So this could have been bad, but we dodged it. And then, yeah, so they're just going for the dog. Typically what we try to do after is we try to kill like those fungal spiders in the back row.
Continue the onslaught.
And then
Destroy them.
and then we'll just try to stall out the fight against
A devastating
like
blow.
the guy in the front. And when we end up stalling out the fight, we're going to try to heal all our stress on the heroes, or as much as we can. Now, if you're new to the game and don't know it very well, the red bars underneath each of the units
this
is the
advantage.
unit health.
Give them no quarter.
And then there's also like the little white bars underneath our heroes. And the white bars is the level of stress. And they accrue more stress throughout the dungeon run, and it doesn't automatically get healed at the end of the dungeon, and you have to pay money to fix it when you're in town. So we want to try to heal as much of it as we can while we're in the dungeon because it'll save us money. So you're going to see us try to stall out the fight and make it take as long as possible, because while we're in combat we have abilities we can use that'll heal our stress.
As the fiend falls,
Alright,
a
so
faint
far so
hope
good.
blossoms.
So that was our jester right there in the back, and that was the move that heals the stress that he did right there. So we should be pretty safe in this situation unless the game gives us a stalling warning or something, and then we're unable to kill the enemy in time before we get the stress penalty. And otherwise, we're just going to go on right here and just try to heal up our heroes as much as we can. Which, You know, it kind of seems like unnecessary or silly right now in like an easy fight or an easy situation like this, but you know, later in the game when you've got a higher degree of difficulty, it becomes really important to manage the stress. You know, right now, our hero just like did a switch positions there and didn't attack because we haven't been warned for stalling yet, so we're just going to take advantage of that. You know, ideally if we can, we want to leave the dungeon with less stress on our heroes than when we came in. You know, ideally we just want to leave with no stress on anybody. And usually we're able to do that unless it's a boss fight. Or something. We'll probably get the stall this morning soon. I would be surprised if we didn't. There it is. Oh, that's not what we wanted. We like it when it just warns us and doesn't actually hit us with distress, but you know, we'll see what happens here. The other fights probably won't go as long as this one either because, you know, once all our stress is healed, then we won't need to stall out anymore. And we entered the dungeon in with quite a bit of stress on our heroes. So once we restore them to a good level, then we won't need to do as much stalling. It looks like we're going right instead of down here. I know we're in another fight now, but I just want to talk about the navigation for the dungeon. What it tries to do is it tries to visit every room in the dungeon right now, no matter what the mission objective is. So and it tries to do it in the shortest number of moves. So I'm not quite sure which path it's going to take right now, but we are going to need to eventually go to that room to the south instead of the one to the right. So I guess we'll have to double back, you know, at some point. So looking at the battle, we want to kill the enemy in the 3rd rank, and then after that it will just be pretty straightforward, and we'll be able to stall again and get up our heals. But see, he just did a bunch of stress damage to us, and that's why we need to try to kill him right away.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I didn't say this before, but we are using some custom hero skins on our champions there. So these are mods you can install through the Steam Workshop, and I'm going to make sure to credit the mod authors and the contributors in the comments. So if you like the mods that you see here, you know, feel free to check those guys out.
Confluence of skill and purpose.
You know, and at this point it's the same deal as last time, where we're just going to stall and get our stress levels down to 0. So probably not going to be too exciting, but you know, if you're doing this yourself though, now's the time when you can go and make yourself a sandwich or something. You don't gotta sit and watch all of it. Alright, we got a stalling warning there, and it didn't penalize us right away this time, so it should just try to kill the enemy for us here. I guess it's gonna let the Crusader be the one to kill the enemy in case our vessel gets to go here and we can get like one more heal off before we do kill the enemy.
Executed with impunity.
Now, I think we have about like 8 or so of the heroes supported so far. They're listed in those release notes that I pointed you at toward the beginning of the video. So we don't have all the hero classes supported yet, but we have most of them, and we have the ones that are my favorites that I think are the most useful. But if you have a different type of strategy you like to use, and your hero class isn't supported, I welcome contributors and anybody who wants to help with the bot and add any features that I don't have here. So let me know. My contact information will be out there, and I'll review any pull requests, or I'm happy as well to do like a video call or something, and help out anybody that is looking to contribute and needs some help getting started.
For a task well performed.
It's been a pretty fun project to do during quarantine, to be honest. A good way to keep my programming skills fresh and kill some time. So it'd be a good way for anybody to get experience. Now, so what you see here with like the flashing on the screen is what's happening is we don't know exactly where the skeleton is right there that we're trying to loot. So as we're walking towards it, it's doing a screenshot, and then it's minimizing the window and then maximizing it again. So that's what the flicker is. And it just has to do it to make sure that we've activated the corpse and that we haven't walked past it. This fight also probably won't be very difficult for us. We just try to kill the big guy first here and focus him down fast since he's the biggest threat. Our guys kind of need to heal, but it's not like that important. They're not that low. So instead of healing them there, we just made sure to kill the big guy. I'm guessing that we're probably going to see our heroes camp soon, maybe after this fight. I could be wrong, but the reason why is because it has to do with the way looting works in this for the bot. Something interesting is the loot that you get as a battle reward is contained within the save file, and we can read the save file and know exactly what it is. But if we're opening up a curio or interacting with like an object in the hall that gives us loot, that loot is random loot that only lives inside the game client. So if you wanted to cheat, you could just you could just hit Alt F4 and then reload the game and then activate it again, and then you get like different items. And because of that, since it's not like contained inside the save file, we can't actually tell what the loot is right now. So what we try to do is we just try to randomly take the items from like the curio or like this chest here that we're going to get, for example. We'll try to take the items from it one at a time, and if our inventory is full, we're just going to drop the lowest value item one at a time and keep trying to take the items until we decide that we don't have anything in our inventory that we want to drop anymore. And before we entered this room and got into this battle, I saw that we didn't take all of the items. And since we didn't take all of the items, I think that means that the bot knows that our inventory is full. So it's probably going to try to do some camping soon to try to free up some more inventory space. You can see like the firewood there in the top left. We've got to use that when we do the camping, and we're going to use some of our food. So that should help us to clear up like at least 2 inventory slots.
Hacks laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really care about that trinket. Alright, there it is. It's doing the camping now.
Huddled together, furtive and vulnerable. Rats in a maze.
Alright, Sanctuary, that makes sense because that helps us avoid getting a nighttime ambush. Definitely want that. Since it's early in the game, we don't really have a lot of great camping abilities, but luckily our heroes already made it down to 0 stress, so we're in pretty good shape. We had 2 points left that we could have used, but I don't know if we had any abilities left that we really cared about using there. So, that went pretty much how I would have expected. We don't need the 2 food. Yep, it's going to go ahead and drop that. Perfect. Now, what you're seeing here is we've got to inch towards the curio slowly, or like that tree trunk you see, so we don't accidentally walk past it. If it's far enough away, then we can just, the bot can essentially hold the button down to just move right to it. But when it's not too far away, we can't risk doing that. So there might be a better way to do that we could maybe explore in the future. But for now, this seems to work pretty well. It's just a little bit slow. We didn't really want the 2 food there, but you know, again, we didn't actually know what the item was, so we didn't know that it was only 2 food. It's fine though. The bot works pretty efficiently and is able to save like a pretty good amount of money and do a good enough job on the looting that you pretty much always turn up a profit. Now, if you're familiar with the game, you know like a common strategy to do is to try to rush the bank town upgrade. And then that really helps with money throughout your playthrough. So I would recommend trying to do that pretty much. But in the beginning of the game, where your heroes are a low level and things that you buy aren't that expensive yet, you know, you easily be able to go positive and afford all of your upgrades.
Monster's size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
So I was just planning to do one dungeon today because I didn't want this video to be too long. But you know, if you're interested in watching more, I would just suggest checking out my last video, or you know, feel free to go ahead and try this out yourself. I know it's like
the blood quickens.
not that interesting to watch all these long battles and whatnot, and that's fine. I don't really expect anybody to like sit here and watch through the whole thing. So yeah, I just wanted to show it to you guys today. And if you guys have any questions, though, feel free to put those in the YouTube comments. I should see those and reply right away. If there's anything, you know, any features that you see that I don't have here that you would like, you know, you can let me know, or any problems that you notice as well.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
That warrior bracer there is pretty nice to have at the beginning of the game as well. So I'm not sure if there's a... Alright, you see that wooden crate there? We're going to end up just walking right past it right now. So that's nothing to be alarmed about. In this case, we know that we're going to be backtracking through this hallway later. So we're going to get that on the way back. And you can see our torque level meter kind of in like the top middle of the screen. And the way this game works is that the lower your torque level, the better the treasure you'll get in the dungeon. But the difficulty is also higher when the torch is low. So the one aspect of this game is controlling the torch level and using the torch items in our inventory to help manage it.
And improvement.
What I like to do when I'm playing the game is I'll snuff the torch out or lower the torch level like right at the end of the battle to try to get like more treasure. I would probably do that right here before backtracking before the way we came and looting that treasure in this treasure chest, but also in that box in the hallway that we passed by. But in any case, the reason why we walk past the box on the way here is so that we can walk back later with a lower torch level and then loot it and get more treasure than we would have if we had looted it on the way here. So that's why it does that. I'm not sure if we really try to stall in a fight like this where we had 4 of these wolf type enemies here because we know that they give us the rabies. So it's generally not worth it for us to try to stall. No, we didn't have like any stress going into that fight anyways, so there wasn't much of a reason to stall, but if I remember correctly, I think we'll just try to kill those enemies anyways, and we won't even try to prolong the fight any longer than we need to in a case like that. Unfortunately, oh, never mind. Fortunately, we did have enough room to carry all that stuff. I thought we weren't going to be able to. So yeah, I think we're getting quite a good haul in the playthrough this time. Probably, yep, we're going to get that on the way back as well, assuming we have enough levels left over. These enemies here are pretty interesting. They can summon like a big giant slime enemy, it's pretty dangerous because he has a high chance of critting us and stunning our heroes, and we don't
Back
want
to the
that.
pit.
So this is another one of these enemies that we don't ever try to stall against. Not that we need to, again, like we already got to 0 stress, but I think the expectation here is that the bot is just going to try to kill these enemies right away and not take them too lightly.
A decisive pummeling. Be wary. Triumphant pride precipitates a dizzying fall.
Another fight where, in this case, I don't think we want to stall against any of these enemies. So, if we're lucky, we'll get some stress heals off here, like on our vessel, to just put some stress damage. But, you know, I don't expect us to try to stall out this fight any longer than we have to. And, this might be the toughest fight, that we encounter here, in this dungeon, just because there's just not the best enemies for us to try to deal with. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. I'll be right back.
Obliterated.
Alright, it looks like we managed to get away without those slime summoning any allies to help them, so that's good.
Decimated.
Alright, nice, we'll take that.
Ghoulish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud. The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
This fight's not really too nice for us to deal with either.
Destroyed.
But if we could crit the madman in the back, you know, never mind. That guy's really annoying. He does a lot of stress damage. Yeah, killing him right there, right off the rip was really rude. Those big guys in front, we should just be able to stall against, and maybe we'll be able to get our stress back down to 0. we've actually already completed the mission with the last room battle that we did. So, you know, we
In
had the
Radiance,
opportunity
may
to
we
beat the
find
dungeon. We
victory.
still could. We don't need to go to these last 3 rooms down at the bottom. But, you know, that's just an opportunity, though, for us to gather even more treasure. So, you know, our heroes are looking pretty healthy right now, and, you know, that's what we're going to do. So, like I was saying before, we always try to go and visit all of the rooms in the dungeon, regardless of what the quest objective is. And, we might be able to have a little bit more nuance later on, but I guess right now we're just confident enough in our abilities to be able to heal our party that we're not worried about there being a problem. Got a stress heal too, you'll probably use it, yeah.
Sedated.
Did we kill him? Nope. Can we kill him now? Nope. So, ideally we would be able to make this run, you know, even faster and make the battles go even faster.
A trifling
The reason why
victory.
it takes so long is because,
But a
like,
victory
unfortunately, we've got to read the save file, and we've got to make sure that we're giving enough time for the battle animations to complete in between each character's turn to move. And you know, that it's just really important that we have to do that. I'm guessing we don't have any shovels left in our inventory, which is why we didn't get the object there in the hole, but yeah, basically, like with the battles though, yeah, we just need to make sure that the game is ready to accept our button inputs before the bot tries to tell our characters to move, so we have to just make sure to give enough time for the battle animations. You know, certain things like blight and bleed, or like a stun, or like a critical hit, like the animations are longer. So
Finding the stuff is only the first
you
test.
really have to kind of play
Now
it
it
safe.
must be carried home.
Oh, we did have a shovel in our inventory. I guess we haven't scouted all of these remaining hallways, so there could be an obstacle that we need to clear. So I guess the bot knew to make sure to save one shovel. So I guess that's why we didn't use it on the shallow grave. Now that you can see that we got the scouting chance though, or the scouting roll, and then all the remaining rooms in the hallway were revealed there. So now we can see that we don't need the shovel that's in our inventory, so we might actually end up dropping it. Because we don't need the food there either, but yeah, I mean that shovel that we saved before might not actually get used, and we might just drop it if we have to. Something that I haven't really talked about yet. What you do if you want to stop the bot while it's running like this is you take your mouse and you move it to one of the corners of the screen. I usually move it to like the top left or top right corner, but essentially the bot uses some Python libraries called iDirect Input and iAutoGUI, and those are the libraries that allow us to do like button presses on the keyboard, and that's how the bot works. But those libraries have a feature where it automatically aborts if you take your mouse cursor and you move it to one of the corners of the screen. So you know, if say you were like letting the bot run for a while and you wanted to come back and then resume control, you know, that's how you would do it. It's a pretty nice feature to have. And we started the bot right at the beginning of the dungeon too, but you can also start the bot mid-dungeon or in battle or any time during the dungeon. So it's pretty flexible that way. There are like a few things you need to be aware of if you're trying to start the bot in the middle of the dungeon, and there's really two things. You need to make sure that your heroes are in the position that you want them to be in. Like they need to start out in the default position when you start the bot. And that's true even if you're in a battle like this right now. The other thing is you can't leave any gaps in your inventory. You need to rearrange the items such that all the gaps are filled in. If you don't have a full inventory or you don't have 16 items, then you just need to leave the slots toward the end empty, like the bottom right slots need to be empty and you need to fill in all the gaps. And this just has to do with the way the data is stored in the save file. It just gives you a list of items in your inventory, but it doesn't tell you which slot number they're in. So in order for the bot to know which slot the items are in, you have to make sure to fill in those gaps. But that's pretty much it. You know, and as we're wrapping up here, you can see, you know, to me it's not that exciting to watch the bot like do every little thing. So like, you know, you would just use this to like, you know, really like run some low-level dungeons for you that you don't want to do yourself. But what's even more fun than that is like actually playing the game for yourself. So, you know, to be honest, it's not really that useful of a tool. And the save file reader that we're using with the bot is also capable of being a save file editor, so you know, there isn't really a reason to grind out like the dungeons or have the bot do it for you, and you can just edit the save file and skip right to the point that you want. But you know, my real intention was this was just have fun. So,
battle.
you know,
One that must be fought.
So there you go. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you know, again, feel free to leave me you know, any comments that you have.
Once, our estate was the envy of this land.